Vigilance while taxiing on airport surfaces is a critical piece in FAA's mission for safe operations. For all pilots, the primary tasks during this phase of flight are looking outside for signs, markings, and lighting, as well as effectively communicating with ATC. Where are you located? Where are you going? What is happening around you? Each airport layout is unique, so it's important that you keep your heads up and eyes out whenever taxiing an aircraft as you are approaching the runway environment, also known as the Runway Safety Area, or RSA. The RSA is the surface surrounding the runway for reducing the risk of damage to airplanes in the event of an excursion from the runway. Runway holding position markings, the two solid and two dashed lines, identify the boundary of the RSA. When instructed by ATC to hold short of the runway, a pilot must stop prior to the marking so that no part of the aircraft extends beyond the runway holding position marking. Crossing the first solid line, even just the nose of the aircraft, means the pilot has entered the runway safety area, even though the aircraft has not yet entered the runway pavement. This is a runway incursion. Pilots approaching runways at airports without an operating control tower must ensure adequate separation from other aircraft, vehicles, and pedestrians prior to crossing the holding position markings. In this real-life event, we focus on pilots who are involved in heads-down tasks. These may be tasks such as reviewing a checklist or programming the avionics as they approached an area where heightened attention is required. The most common runway incursions involve either entering a runway safety area without permission or entering it at the wrong location because of erroneous routing. Let's change the trend. Heads up and eyes out. Don't miss the visual cues. Flight 10 is preparing to taxi to runway 28 right. Meanwhile, Flight 84 is also receiving ATC instructions to runway 28 right.
10 ground, runway 28 right at Echo Echo, taxi to bridge transition, and then Foxtrot in November, join hotel.
Alright, bridge transition, Foxtrot, November, join hotel benefit.
384 ground, runway 28 right at Echo Echo, taxi to be November 2 in November, go ahead and monitor 327.
November 2, November 2 right, Echo Echo 384.
10 squawk 6262.
6262, limit.
34 turn right heading 040 on a 28 right Echo Echo, clear for takeoff.
Right, 040, 28 right, Echo Echo, clear for take 34.
84 tower on 84 turn right heading 320, stay with me for another turn on a 28 right Echo Echo, clear for takeoff.
Heading 320, 32 right,
710, monitor tower 132.
Wait, right, Echo Echo, clear takeoff, 4384.
54 tower on a 28 right Echo Echo, line up and wait.
28 right, Echo Echo, line up 3054.
Copy, ready at the Echo Echo, you 5.
Hey, 45, heavy roger, go right out.
Yes, sir. My apologies. 710, we exit. My apologies.
10, make the left turn on Papa and hold short of Echo Echo for more.
Copy, 10.
What actually happened in this event? Let's take a look. The controller gave instructions to Flight 10 to taxi to runway 28 right. The pilot read back the taxi clearance correctly. The aircraft was supposed to turn left on taxiway November, but continued straight ahead past the runway holding position marking. Both pilots were heads down and taxied onto an active runway. When Flight 10 entered the runway without ATC authorization, they conflicted with Flight 84 on departure roll on the same runway. An accident was narrowly avoided. The ND-80 triggered the alarm 3 seconds before it entered the runway. Meanwhile, a Cessna Citation was on takeoff roll, climbing out at 90 knots and on collision course toward the incurring aircraft, resulting in a near miss. What can we learn from this event? During the taxi, both pilots were heads down, missed the turn, and did not see the many cues that they were entering the runway safety area. They missed the enhanced taxiway centerline, the red and white surface painted sign, and the mandatory runway signs and the runway holding position marking. Pilots must be vigilant when navigating on airport surfaces. Best practices for safe taxi include: use the current airport diagram, write down taxi clearance and read back all hold short instructions, ensure authorization to cross runway holding position markings, look both directions before entering the runway. For single pilot operations, pilots should perform all essential tasks prior to taxi. For multi-pilot operations, ensure at least one pilot is heads up and eyes out at all times. Use all visual cues. Eliminate distractions. For more information, see Advisory Circulars 91-73 and 120-74 by clicking the Resources button on the upper right corner.